welcome to Ask the Culpeppers. I'm Lakeisha Culpepper.
And I'm Derek Culpepper.
And today we'll begin our sessions on answering a few questions from writers and viewers just like you. We're going to go ahead and dive right in, but just as a reminder, we are not licensed counselors, nor are we attorneys. We're just a loving couple with kids of our own and working class people trying to do the very best we can by our family. And so we just want to share and hope that from our opportunities to learn, you'll also have opportunities to learn and join us as we grow together.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow the Baby Spot CA Global Parenting Magazine, which will also be hosting these videos as we respond, as my wife so eloquently told us, to people from all around the globe. So submit those questions to the email address that you see below, and we'll get a chance to talk about your question possibly on the air.
Absolutely. And if we don't get to your question, don't worry. Sometimes there are questions that are better left unanswered or answered privately. And so give us the opportunity to filter through those with the help of the Baby Spot, and we'll do our best to get to you as soon as we can.
Let's dive in, baby.
All right, so question number one. Dear Ask the Culpeppers, my name is Cindy. I'm a wife of a wonderful man who was married before and has a daughter from a previous relationship. He and I have a wonderful 2-year-old baby boy. My problem is this. My husband's ex-wife hates me. We have hardly spoken except quick words at drop-offs, but I love her daughter. Like she is my very own and always give her space and time. I always imagine co-parenting with her. She has another boyfriend. And so here's this question. So it kind of talks about what a lot of families I think are facing right now, and that's this idea of blended families. While we don't have a blended family ourselves, we actually have so many friends and family members that are really in this situation. So typically what people want to know is really how can we partner together and how can we make the relationship better. But it's tricky because just like in any other relationship or partnership, it takes both parties really wanting to commit to making the relationship solid and making it a co-parenting opportunity. The truth is, Cindy, that sometimes because of past relationships, hurt, or maybe even something to do with where people are at the moment, they cannot engage with you in a way that's going to be productive. And we've got to honor that and give people room and say, okay, so right now we may not be able to co-parent, but really always keep the hope that we can, and you stay positive and continue to do your part to reach out to that other person is what I would say on this question.
And I'd like to add to what you said. You know, it's this classic case of my husband ex hates me, right? So they have some history together. And so therefore there may be some resentment from the breakup or from the divorce. Could be some resentment. Yeah. And actually you're getting a taste of it, but it's really not about you per se, but it's that forgiveness possibly hadn't taken place between your current husband and his ex. And so therefore you're right in the middle of it. And it appears that, you know, you guys can't get along or can't seem to do things together. And even at drop-offs, you know, it's very, very little talking and those kind of things. And so with this particular thing, I would say, you know, just keep doing what you're doing for you guys' son and just keep on loving her daughter, and maybe she'll come around in time, but you just keep doing your part.
Yeah, and one of the points that you bring up in your question that I didn't read, because I did just read a portion of it, really talks about how can I speed up this relationship, right? And so in every relationship, we know this. There's no way sometimes to speed us up to getting to this deep friendship or deep partnership. A lot of relationships just take a lot of time and energy and a lot of patience. And so that would be our advice to you is be patient, remain positive, continue to show the love that you expect and what you want from her. And really lean on your husband too, because I think in this situation, the husband may know her a little bit better than you as well. And so he may be able to also offer some insight.
Right. All right, we'll go to question number 2. And Cindy, thank you for your question. Question number 2, and this is from HMC. Hi, Culpeppers. I like your music, Derek, and I follow Active Rule on Twitter.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I have a problem. I'm a single mom of 3 children. I refer to my ex as a sperm donor. He never cares about the kids and is really behind on child support. He rarely sees them. How can I inspire the man to give a care about these amazing kids? He's missing plays, big football games, and just them growing up in general. So this is the classic. This is a good one. The question is, you want to know how you can inspire him. You know, since he's never around, how can you inspire him and get him to get involved? I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's true.
So then the reason I say that is because he has to have a change in heart. If he does it, he'll be doing it because he's being pressured by you to do it, not because it's really in the depths of his heart to say, you know what, I helped create these children. It's my responsibility as a man to help raise them, to be around or something, right? Even if you guys aren't together anymore and he's your ex, those kids are still his and yours. And one other thing I wanted to mention was you said that he's really behind on child support. So that tells me that there are several issues going on. He's not coming to see him. He's not spending time with him. And I'm not sure if he's in the same city or country that you're in. But shame on him if he is in the same one. But he may just have some issues going on. He's behind on his child support. So that tells me that there's probably some other issues with him that's keeping him from taking care of his responsibility.
There may be. And on this note, HMC, I just want to kind of highlight something that you wrote when you say you refer to him as your sperm donor. So this is really tricky. And this is something that as women, and you know this, we all have kind of our girlfriend circle of friends that we interact with. And one of the things for my friends who may have children from other relationships or have gone through divorces and maybe in similar situations, I think one of the things that we always want to be mindful of is not tearing down or talking down the other parent. And I think that works both ways. We have a lot of single dads raising kids where the moms are not in the picture. And we know one family where the mom is behind on child support and the dad has primary role. And so the first thing I think is to inspire not only the love that your kids will have for their father, but really this level of respect that you have for him, not because of anything he's done, just because of the gift he gave you in them. Is to be kind in what you say and be reverent in what you do. And that absolutely has nothing to do with him and everything to do with the fact that out of all the people in the world that could have blessed you with these great kids, it's really him. And so whether I agree with what he's doing, whether I like it, I'm grateful for him for them. And so I'm going to treat him from a point of respect and consideration because of that gift. So that your boys don't ever hear you saying, or your children don't ever hear you saying things about their father that's negative. That can also be really harmful to kids. And so we just want to make sure that we stay positive because, you know, what happens when he does get inspired and he comes along and wants to partner and be with the kids and the kids start saying, are calling him negative things and saying, you know, mom says these awful things about you. And so just being mindful of that. And I'm sure you don't say those things where the kids can hear you. That's just one of the things that we've watched our friends really do is stay positive and encouraging, even if that person is really not meeting the expectations that they should as parents.
That's right, because you can only control yourself and what you do. Yeah. I've said that before, that, you know, people are grown. They're going to make their own decisions. They're who they are. You cannot change them. Yeah. But you can control what you say and what you do.
Yeah, and please take lots of pictures and lots of videos at those games, because if you are in a situation like us where our oldest will be graduating next year, that time goes so fast. Yeah. And again, you never know what's going to happen and at what point dad will turn around. And so you want to make sure to capture those memories, not only for you, but for anyone else that may later come aboard and partner with you to really help them to be the men that they'll one day be.
That's right. Good. Thank you, HMC.
So question 3 reads, my name is Hannah. I have 5 beautiful kids. My concern is my oldest. My concern is my oldest about to go to college. She is so sweet and kind, and I'm worried about the peer pressure about drinking and using drugs for recreation to perform better at school. We raised her right, but how can I calm my nervous heart? I'm worried about the people around her. This is so important, and we talk to our kids all the time, so we don't shelter our kids from these conversations or even really from seeing these things. Like if we're watching a movie and something comes up, it's a great opportunity to talk about it. But what I say all the time is, we can only teach our children and tell them and really encourage them to make the right decisions. But ultimately, they're going to try some things and they're going to do some things that we may not agree with, but we're always hopeful, we're always prayerful that they'll get back on the right track. But what I can tell you, one of the things that I do as a mom to calm my heart, because that's kind of what you're asking, like how do you calm your heart, is I journal and I write. Because here's the trick. There are some anxieties that you have within yourself worrying about your kids that'll never come true. You know, your kids may never try those things and you've worried all these years about them. And so I really do like to write down some of my fears in a journal when I'm really feeling anxious and just get those things out and put them on paper. For some reason that makes me feel better. I don't like to necessarily talk to grandparents and other family members because they're thinking it's going to be, well, what are they doing? Why are you thinking that way? Because sometimes the fears that you have are just that. They're just fears. And it's not really the reality of what's going on with your kids.
Right.
And so I would say start by finding an outlet for you to be able to help calm your heart and your mind. And you keep being a great parent and you trust that even if every now and then or maybe once in a blue moon she may try something or get off track, they're going to get back on track. And I just believe that. And we've seen that not only in our kids, but Derek and I were able to partner with some older family members, some of his cousins and even his brothers who stayed with us for part of their life, who had some bumps, but were able to get back on track and to get back. And our kids do that. But teaching them the right way from the beginning and laying that foundation really assures you that even when they get in trouble, they know which way to go to get out of trouble.
You know, and that also goes back to the message that, you know, we preach. We believe in leading by example. And, of course, you know, with our son, you know, graduating in 2020 and going off to college, you know, we're hoping that the example that we have set has rooted within him. Sure. You know, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he gets older, will not depart from it. And so leading by example and those things that your oldest child and your other 4 children see is going to be very important. And again, as she stated, you know, they're going to do some things, say some things, and maybe go some places you never took them. Right. You know, because we're dealing with the internet, we're dealing with TV, we're just dealing with life in general because they're going to be adults and we have to give them a little leash in order for them to grow up and mature and to be adults that can be productive in this world. And so, you know, I believe every parent across the country has this concern about their kids. So. Don't matter who you are, don't matter what walk of life. When your child is not there every day, when you wake up, and there's someplace else, possibly a whole country away or 5 or 6 states away, guaranteed there's going to be some adjustment that has to take place and some concern. My mother right now, and me and my 3 brothers are grown right now. We can call her at 3 o'clock in the morning. She'll answer the phone like she's been awake. Yeah. Because when we're not there, even though we're grown and not there, she still answer the phone, call us back, text us back, everything all right? Because when they're not there where you can see them, every phone call you get through the night, you're going to hear it a whole lot better than you did when they were in your house because it might be them, right? No one wants that phone call. So, but continue to lead by example for your 5 children and encourage them to engage in healthy habits and let them point out and let them know about bad habits too. They need to see, you know, kind of what the result can be if they go down the wrong path. And I know you did mention taking recreational drugs to perform better in school. I guess that could be like an energy booster or
and I know that
something like that to perform better.
Yeah, there are some kids that are abusing certain prescription medicines to stay awake and to do things like that. And I think you're right. And again, what we have to do is we have to teach our children what are the long-term effects of doing those things. And so some of it is really educating them on, yes, short term that may give you that boost and push you through, but long term, lots of those things are habit forming and some of them can negatively impact organs like the kidney function and things like that. And so making sure that they understand the good and the bad of all of those things.
That's right.
Yeah.
So thank you, Hannah, so much for your question, and we appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our first episode of Ask the Culpeppers, and we've been notified that we got more questions in already to answer in preparation for our next episode. And so we thank you for joining us here on Wednesday, and if we get so many questions, we might have to go 2 days, 2 days a week versus weekly at 7 o'clock. at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Active Rule on my Facebook and on my YouTube channel, and subsequently uploaded to all of At the Baby Spot Global Parenting Magazine social media sites, which is Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, the website, Facebook.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. So y'all share this commentary, comment, like, disagree, agree, add your comments to it, and just let us know what you think. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to try to answer those.
And a big thank you again to the Baby Spot for partnering with us. As I said before, we're like so many other families. We're working as hard as we can, doing the best we can to raise the greatest people that we can, right? And in this case, it's 3 of them that we have the privilege to raise and to send forth into the world. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to say a big thanks to the Baby Spot for believing in us and allowing us to join your community of readers and listeners to share a little bit about what we think about some of these questions and issues.
That's right. So submit your questions to the email below. We'll be looking forward to them. We'll get them soon, and we'll do it again. All right, folks, until we meet next time, see you later. Bye-bye.